In this documentary that I have made, you will be able to see an insight into the life of Matthew. He is one of my best friends. We have known each other now for over 9 years and went to a specialised dyslexic school in Somerset. The documentary will give an insight into the life of myself and Matthew, as well as how he progressed and finds various coping mechanisms to deal with dyslexia. I will also incorporate a small sequence in this documentary about the experiences of my friend Henry, who has also grown up with Matthew and myself, but unfortunately he could not feature in this documentary due to some private reasons. Talk about my own experiences with dyslexia. Talking and stating why I chose the media industry as a platform to showcase my talents and aspirations, with the hope and the goal to it leading to a career path in the future. People who have dyslexia are extremely bright, but struggle with reading and writing. Dyslexics have an ability to see the bigger picture and are more likely to be more creative in their lifetime.
Living with dyslexia, particularly when I was younger, I used to find myself quite isolated because I used to find I'd be quite nervous in interacting with other people because I would feel I would be behind them, and it would often frustrate me and sometimes manifest in unpleasant behaviour. So the way I found my school, Shatwick School, to help me, it was a specialist dyslexic school. It gave me the confidence to pursue academic work, and now I'm at university at Leeds, one of the top 15 universities in the country. It gave me the skills to deal with large workloads. It also helped me learn ways of reading, different mechanisms to help me deal with that, mainly taking things slow, going over things again, breaking words down. It was very helpful for those things. My plan for when I'm done with uni, I intend to travel through Africa, working our way down to South Africa. We intend to, me and a friend, intend to buy a 4x4 and work our way down there.
I have dyslexia, and despite the stereotypes and the stigmas of people who have been diagnosed with it, I've managed to speak 3 languages to a fluent level of communication: English, French and German. I can also pick up some words of Italian quite easily, so dyslexia has definitely hindered me in my past. However, I have found some benefits, such as being able to be more creative, which is a huge benefit to my learning and mental development. The brain is split into 2 hemispheres. The left-hand side of the brain is typically focused, and its strengths lie in languages, science, mathematics, and other cognitive abilities, whereas the right-hand side of the brain focuses more on individual learning and creativity, which is why I wanted to go into the creative industries. I have a good eye for capturing video sequences, editing and modifying short films and documentaries into a visually pleasing and immersive end product. So being half German and also having dyslexia, I felt that my path was always going to be a little bit harder in my life. My grandmother Osla was actually the first to see that I had dyslexia and that I was going through some of the issues that are typical of or dyslexic, such as typical paradigms and so on. Those paradigms and typical issues were reading and writing. I was not able to read and write to a suitable manner. At my age, I also lacked the ability to make friends, as I struggled to get along with people my age. This is mainly due to the fact that I was very advanced for my age in terms of oral dialogue. However, I heavily struggled with memory capabilities, which stunted me in my education throughout my life. Previously, as Matthew tapped into, bullying and isolation came as a byproduct of our deviant behaviors, mainly due to the frustrations of us not being able to be as competent as our peers in arithmetic and cognitive abilities. Isolation and bullying that we face as a byproduct of dyslexia gave our peers the confidence to tease us, and this definitely played a key role in stunting our mental capabilities and made us lose self-confidence. Our teachers also did not have an understanding of how dyslexia works, and furthermore, while we were not able to pick up certain paradigms of teaching, which led to exclusion and vulnerability. However, the turning point in my life was when I went to Shabik School. When I went over there, I saw that the teachers were generally more sympathetic to my needs. They comprehensively understood my journey in life and how difficult it was for me to be able to write, read, and be able to compete with other people my age.
Living with dyslexia, it's been very difficult. I've had huge concentration issues when I was at school and college, and even now in university. I find it hard to concentrate more than 25 minutes, so I tend to break up my work into sort of segments to make it a lot easier, because I can't sit there and concentrate for hours on end like other people. It was a challenge planning all this out with my dyslexia, but with certain coping methods I've managed to do that. After we've done this travelling, I may join an NGO, but through some of my study of the NGOs I've looked into, particularly ones that work in the Caribbean and South America, are rather unethical. So instead of joining one of them, I think I might join the British Army instead, go to Sandhurst and learn to become an officer, as I believe that'll be a good career path with career progression for me. 6.5 million people in the UK living with dyslexia, roughly about 10% of the population. 1 in 6 people have the reading age of an 11-year-old. We should understand that people with dyslexia can often feel lonely and anxious. Also understand that the dyslexic brain has its own benefits and strengths, and we should learn to enjoy these strengths.
I study business at university. I enjoy business because it offers a large array of study matter, and it takes place basically every day. Commerce is everywhere. Being diagnosed with dyslexia and suffering from it, it can make business, which is primarily administration, tough to focus, tough to read, especially some of the more complex systems. It makes it slow, which can be rather grating against my peers, and it does generate a barrier or two in education. However, I do enjoy it. I met Maurice and Matt while studying in Shatwick. There were an array of challenges whilst studying there.
This documentary was motivated by the experiences of myself, Matthew, and Henry. We have all grown up together in the same school environment and share similar difficulties and hurdles of the effects of dyslexia, which stunts and has stunted our learning throughout our lives. This documentary was also motivated by the book The Dyslexic Advantage, which had given me an insight into some of the topics that I had covered in this documentary. I recommend that you have a read of this book by Dr. Brooke Idy.